if we're going to back up to the basis of livestock farming, at its very core, a livestock farmer is someone that takes a product that's unedible to a human and turns it into edible protein, and then we have to figure out a way to store it, transport it, and process it some way, shape, or form. For most of us, that's just turning grass into beef. And we store the grass in a beef cow, and we transport it on a truck to town, and we let someone else process it. But ultimately, we are a grass farmer, grass processor. A lot of what I do is byproducts. Just got done scooping the spoilage off this tote of brewer's grain. So I'm part grass farmer. I'm part byproducts farmer. There's a tote I just dumped out. And then I'm part a recreation guy. I rent cows out for recreation. And so this goes back to the very core of agriculture, right? A farmer had grass, corn, soybeans, whatever, hill country that couldn't be cultivated. And so we turned summer's sun and summer's rain into whatever, grass usually. And then we tried to find a vessel where we could store that food and transport it and process it. So the basis, this is why your Swiss cheese is a hard, the Swiss cheese it's a cheese you could add milk to every day. You could store it up in the high Alps, and then it was a heavy, hard cheese you could transport down at the end of the year out of the Alps. So basically, right, they were grass farmers, but then they processed, stored, and transported it in the form of cheese. Before refrigeration, I just read Farmer Boy. Ma made butter, and they could store it in a cellar, and they had butter to sell. So that is the basis of livestock farming. The minute you start buying every input is probably the beginning of the end of your farming. Unless you're a cattle trader. I mean, say what it is. If you're buying cattle, selling cattle, and buying all your inputs, you're a cattle trader and you're a feed dealer, and you better be good at that, right? And examine, okay, this is what I do. I better be good at that. I better be a good grass farmer. I better be a good recreation farmer. I better be a good byproduct farmer, or I better be a good cattle trader and feed dealer. At the core of a feedlot, that feedlot is more of a feed dealer. That's where their profit comes from than cattle. They, in the last couple of years, cattle trading's been very popular, but the core is they're a feed dealer. So you need to look at your farm and say, well, this is what I do. Like I said, for myself, I'm a cattle dealer. I'm a grass farmer. I'm a recreational farmer. When I say recreational, I'm not a hobby farmer. I rent cattle out, and then I'm also a byproducts feeder. Got to become good at those. If you become good at enough of those and you have some capital behind you, you can make a living farming. But just know what you're farming. Know what you're raising, know what you're processing, know what you're transporting. And, whether it's meat, milk, eggs, whiskey, cheese, beef, pork, eggs, mutton, wool, whatever, goat meat. Know what kind of farmer you are. God bless you.